Deep within the heart of the sprawling wilderness, a forest stood untouched by time and civilization. It was known by a name that sent shivers down the spine of those who dared to speak it: the Vanishing Woods. For centuries, it had been plagued by a dark and enigmatic reputation, a place where the normal rules of reality seemed to warp and twist. A group of adventurous friends, eager to experience the thrill of the unknown, decided to embark on a journey into these fabled woods. Led by their intrepid guide, Sarah, they believed that whatever secrets the forest held would only serve to enhance their expedition. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the entrance to the forest, the group exchanged excited glances. The tree line marked the threshold between the familiar and the unknown, and they were about to cross it. Each member of the group was drawn by a different allure: the promise of adventure, the desire to overcome fear, or the pursuit of answers to age-old mysteries. Sarah, their leader, was particularly captivated by the mysteries that had clung to the forest like a persistent fog. She had read accounts of missing persons and paranormal encounters, whispered tales of those who had entered and never returned, and the uncanny tales of fleeting glimpses into otherworldly realms. The forest had become her obsession, and her pursuit of its secrets had brought the group together. At the threshold of the Vanishing Woods, they felt a sudden chill. The temperature dropped, and the air seemed to hum with an eerie energy. The dark canopy of trees loomed overhead, as if eager to swallow them whole. They shared an unspoken acknowledgement of the profound sense of isolation they were entering, beyond the comforts of civilization and into the unknown. Their journey had begun, but little did they know that the forest would soon live up to its sinister reputation, as strange and unsettling events began to unfold. As the group ventured deeper into the Vanishing Woods, they quickly realized that the forest was like no other they had ever encountered. The very air seemed heavy with a sense of melancholy, and the pervasive silence was only interrupted by the occasional rustling of leaves or the distant cry of an unknown creature. Sarah led the way, her footsteps leaving imprints on the damp forest floor. She couldn't help but notice that the usual sounds of the wilderness were eerily absent. There were no birdsong, no scurrying animals, just an eerie hush that enveloped the forest. As they journeyed further into the woods, they came across strange stone markers worn by time and weather. These stones were engraved with symbols and words they couldn't decipher. Sarah recognized them from her research, symbols of an ancient civilization that once inhabited these lands. The further they walked, the more Sarah's unease grew. The forest appeared to be in a state of perpetual twilight, with the canopy of trees casting elongated shadows. As they ventured deeper, Sarah began to hear whispers, indistinct, soft voices that seemed to come from the very trees themselves. She motioned for the group to stop and listen. The whispers grew louder, a chorus of mysterious voices, and they seemed to be speaking in a language that none of them could recognize. The group exchanged uneasy glances, but Sarah's determination to uncover the forest's secrets was unwavering. The atmosphere around them seemed to thicken, and the world they knew began to warp. Trees seemed to shift and rearrange themselves, causing disorientation. Sarah was certain they were being guided, or perhaps misled, by forces they couldn't comprehend. Hours turned into days as they continued their journey, and strange phenomena became commonplace. The group would occasionally catch glimpses of shadowy figures in the distance, and though they never got too close, the figures always seemed to be watching. Eerie symbols appeared etched into trees, and they stumbled upon bizarre, ancient altars hidden within the forest's depths. The forest was a puzzle with pieces that didn't quite fit, a place where reality and the supernatural intermingled. The group was on the verge of unraveling something beyond their understanding, but they couldn't turn back now. The mysteries of the vanishing woods were pulling them further into their enigmatic embrace. As the group ventured deeper into the vanishing woods, the boundaries between reality and the supernatural continued to blur. The forest, with its eerily shifting trees and the whispers that surrounded them, seemed to have a mind of its own. Sarah's determination remained unwavering, fueled by her obsession to uncover the truth hidden within these woods. The group pressed on, following a faint, otherworldly melody that resonated through the trees. It was during their journey through the twilight forest that strange apparitions began to manifest. Ghostly figures, some resembling people from the past, others mere phantasmal shapes, floated at the periphery of their vision. The group was haunted by their presence, and despite the fear that gripped them, curiosity drove them forward. The apparitions would speak in ethereal voices, sharing cryptic messages that seemed to be both warnings and invitations. Sarah, driven by her thirst for knowledge, tried to communicate with them. She would ask them about the forest's secrets, about the lost civilization, and about the very nature of the vanishing woods. The responses she received were enigmatic, filled with riddles and ancient lore. Days turned into weeks as they journeyed further into the heart of the forest. They came across a tranquil yet foreboding lake, its surface reflecting the twisted canopy of trees above. The apparitions they had encountered seemed to converge here, as if this were the heart of the supernatural phenomena. Sarah, against the pleas of her friends, approached the lake. The water, once still, rippled with life and an ominous energy. Her reflection in the water didn't mirror her movements. It was as if she was seeing herself in a different time and place. Suddenly, an apparition of a cloaked figure emerged from the water, extending a spectral hand towards Sarah. The others watched in terror as she took the apparition's hand, disappearing beneath the surface. The lake returned to its eerily tranquil state. The rest of the group was left in a state of shock and despair, with more questions than answers. They had ventured too far into the enigmatic embrace of the vanishing woods, and their journey had taken a haunting turn. With Sarah gone, they were left to grapple with the forest's mysteries on their own. Without Sarah's guiding presence, the remaining group members found themselves trapped in the heart of the vanishing woods, struggling to navigate its labyrinthine depths. The apparitions grew more persistent, taunting them with cryptic messages that echoed through the twisted trees. It became increasingly clear that the forest had a dark intelligence that sought to both ensnare and enlighten those who entered. As they ventured deeper, they discovered ancient ruins shrouded in an otherworldly mist. These remnants were all that remained of a long-lost civilization. The group was filled with a sense of awe and trepidation, for the ruins appeared to be the very source of the supernatural occurrences within the forest. An unearthly fog enveloped the ruins, obscuring their vision and making it difficult to distinguish between the real and the phantasmal. Yet, they felt an irresistible compulsion to explore further. Each step took them deeper into the heart of this mysterious labyrinth. During their exploration, they began to uncover disturbing clues about the lost civilization. Inscriptions etched into stone revealed a civilization that had once worshipped entities from the netherworld, believing they held the key to limitless power and forbidden knowledge. It was a civilization that had disappeared under mysterious circumstances, leaving only these enigmatic ruins. The group members knew they were treading on dangerous ground, but their desire to understand the secrets of the vanishing woods remained unyielding. They believed that the knowledge hidden within these ruins might hold the key to the forest's mysteries, including Sarah's whereabouts. They were confronted by challenges and puzzles designed to test their wits and their resolve. As they solved each riddle, they felt that they were being watched and judged by the forest itself. Progress came at a cost, as they found themselves becoming increasingly entangled in the supernatural forces at play. At the heart of the ruins, they discovered an ancient chamber filled with artifacts, inscriptions, and an ominous altar. It was here that they believed the answers they sought would be found. However, it was also here that they would come face to face with the malevolent forces that governed the vanishing woods. As the group stood before the ancient altar, the very ground beneath them quaked. The apparitions, now more corporeal, manifested around them, their voices forming a chilling chorus. The ruins came alive with an ominous energy, and the forest's secrets threatened to engulf them. With every step they took, the vanishing woods revealed that it had its own agenda, and the group was no longer in control of their fate. As they faced the malevolent forces head-on, they realized that to survive and uncover the truth, they would have to delve deeper into the forest's supernatural embrace. As the group stood before the ominous altar in the heart of the ancient ruins, a sense of foreboding hung heavy in the air. The forest's malevolent forces had fully manifested, and the apparitions had become corporeal beings of darkness, each exuding an aura of menace. Sarah's absence weighed on their minds, but the need to understand the forest's secrets compelled them to stay. The apparitions, which had previously been haunting whispers, now taunted them openly, revealing more about the forest's history and its insatiable hunger for knowledge. One of the apparitions, a spectral figure with hollow eyes, approached them and whispered in a voice like rustling leaves. "This forest feeds on your curiosity, your desire for forbidden knowledge. The price of enlightenment is steep." The group shivered as they realized the forest's intent to use their insatiable curiosity as a conduit for its own dark purpose. Before them, the ancient altar beckoned, and its inscriptions appeared to be a key to understanding the forest's power. Sarah's fate seemed intertwined with these cryptic symbols, and the group believed that deciphering them might lead to her rescue. With trepidation, they began to decode the inscriptions, uncovering a history of this enigmatic civilization's rise and fall. The ancient people had made pacts with malevolent entities from the netherworld in exchange for unparalleled knowledge and power. Their civilization had thrived, but it had ultimately succumbed to the very forces they had bargained with. The realization that these malevolent entities were at the heart of the forest's power sent shivers down their spines. They were on the brink of uncovering the very secrets that had led to the civilization's downfall. In the midst of their deciphering, the apparitions became more agitated, sensing that the group was drawing closer to the truth. They circled the group, whispering chilling warnings and threats. It was clear that the forest's guardians did not want the group to unearth the ancient knowledge. As they continued to decipher the inscriptions, a sense of dread intensified. It became apparent that they were not only unlocking the forest's history, but also a gateway to the netherworld itself. The veil between their world and the supernatural was growing thin, and the consequences of their actions were uncertain. The group faced a pivotal choice: to delve deeper into the abyss of the forest's secrets, or to turn back in the face of escalating peril. But their determination to rescue Sarah and unveil the truth held them steadfast. They believed that only by confronting the forest's malevolent entities could they hope to escape this living nightmare and unravel the fate of both the ancient civilization and their missing friend. With bated breath and trembling hands, they pressed on, knowing that the knowledge they sought would come at an unimaginable cost. The forest had lured them into a deadly game of revelation, and the stakes were higher than ever. The group continued their deciphering efforts, inching closer to the forest's dark secrets and the whereabouts of their missing friend, Sarah. The apparitions circled them, growing increasingly agitated as they sensed that the group was drawing near to the truth. Each step toward revelation was met with whispered warnings and eerie threats. Despite the mounting danger, the group pressed on with resolve, their determination unwavering. They knew that only by confronting the malevolent entities that controlled the forest could they hope to escape the nightmare they found themselves in. The cost of enlightenment was steep, but they believed it was their only path to salvation. As they decoded the ancient inscriptions, they unraveled a history of the civilization's rise and fall, a tale of ambition and arrogance that had led to their eventual downfall. The ancient people had made pacts with sinister entities from the netherworld, bartering for knowledge and power that had allowed their civilization to thrive. Yet, it had ultimately led to their undoing. The realization that these malevolent entities were at the heart of the forest's power sent chills down their spines. The very secrets they sought to uncover were connected to the forces that had decimated the ancient civilization. As they delved deeper, the line between their world and the supernatural grew increasingly blurred, and they became acutely aware that they were playing with forces beyond their comprehension. But turning back was not an option. Their determination to rescue Sarah and unveil the truth held them resolute. They knew that only by confronting the forest's guardians and unlocking the mysteries could they hope to escape the living nightmare that had ensnared them. The forest had drawn them into a deadly game of revelation, and the stakes were higher than ever. The group faced a daunting challenge as the malevolent entities grew more aggressive, launching sinister schemes to deter their progress. They used their spectral abilities to manipulate the very environment around them. Illusions of treacherous terrain and ghostly apparitions sought to disorient and terrify the group, testing their resolve amidst the onslaught of supernatural tricks. A relentless sense of dread filled the air. They knew they were walking a tightrope between the worlds, trying to decipher a language long forgotten by mankind, and striving to understand forces that had lain dormant for centuries. The ancient altar had become a battleground, where the living and the spectral waged a silent war of wits. The group's unity and their desperate need to find Sarah were their greatest strengths. With collective willpower, they pressed on, determined to reach the core of the forest's malevolence. The final inscriptions on the ancient altar held the key, and they were ready to unlock the door to unimaginable knowledge. The forest watched and waited, its supernatural entities growing more desperate to prevent their progress. It was a battle of human curiosity against ancient malevolence, and the outcome remained uncertain. But the group knew they had come too far to turn back now, and the forest's enigmatic secrets beckoned them with a promise of revelation and danger. With each painstaking translation and intricate decoding of the final inscriptions on the ancient altar, the forest's malevolent entities grew more agitated. The air around the group crackled with supernatural tension, and a chilling mist rolled in, shrouding them from the eyes of the spectral beings. As the last of the inscriptions fell into place, the ancient altar began to tremble, and its stones emitted an eerie glow. The symbols and enigmatic patterns came to life, revealing a hidden chamber deep within the forest's heart. This was their final destination, the heart of the ancient civilization's secrets. The group descended into the chamber with trepidation, torchlight flickering in the oppressive darkness. The walls were adorned with more cryptic symbols, recounting the ancient civilization's pact with the malevolent entities. The chilling truth was laid bare. Their desire for power and knowledge had led to the fall of their civilization. In the center of the chamber, they discovered a pedestal adorned with a mysterious artifact. It was the source of the forest's malevolence, a relic that connected the living world to the supernatural realm. The artifact pulsed with an otherworldly energy, beckoning the group to interact with it. They knew that the artifact held the key to rescuing Sarah and possibly escaping the forest's grasp. With caution, they approached, aware that their actions could unleash untold horrors or provide the answers they so desperately sought. As they reached out to the artifact, the malevolent entities launched a final assault, manifesting in a spectral crescendo of fury. The air vibrated with their anger, and ghostly apparitions swirled around the group, their haunting wails echoing through the chamber. But the group was unyielding in their resolve. They had come too far to be deterred now. With a collective effort, they engaged with the artifact. It responded to their touch, revealing a hidden truth. The ancient civilization had imprisoned the malevolent entities within the forest, and only by resealing them could they break the forest's curse. The group initiated the ritual to reseal the malevolent entities, channeling their collective energy into the artifact. As they did, the chamber quaked, and the malevolent entities shrieked in agony. The boundaries between worlds wavered, and the supernatural entities were forced back into their ancient prison. The forest, once dark and oppressive, seemed to exhale as its malevolence receded. The mist dissipated, and the spectral apparitions faded away. The group had succeeded in their perilous quest, but their relief was short-lived. The forest's grip on them had loosened, but it was not broken entirely. As they made their way back to the forest's edge, they knew that the malevolent entities would forever remain imprisoned, but their influence would still linger. The forest had exacted a toll for their knowledge and freedom, a price that had forever altered them. As they exited the forest, the sun bathed them in its warm light, and the oppressive darkness was replaced by a sense of liberation. They had uncovered the truth, rescued Sarah, and sealed the malevolent entities once more. But the group was forever changed by their harrowing experience, and the haunting memories of the forest's secrets would linger in their minds. They left the cursed woods behind, determined to face the uncertain future together. Armed with newfound knowledge and an enduring bond that had been tested in the crucible of terror. The legend of the haunted forest would continue to draw in those seeking answers and revelation, just as it had with them. But for the group, the forest's secrets were no longer a mystery. They had paid the price for their curiosity and emerged as survivors of a supernatural ordeal that would haunt them forever.